computer. Okay, recording. Yeah, are we okay? We're recording. It's now in a different corner. The recording, because usually the recording is in the top left. Now it's in the top right. This is very weird. Hello everyone. Welcome back to Coach's Corner. That's it. Welcome.
Yeah, let's go.
They're
All
getting
right.
even better. The intros are getting even better.
All right. So Marina and Steve have opted not to do their questions today. So it's just me
I
doing
don't
questions.
have questions. You know, no. I need
It's-
everyone to know that I do not have questions because everyone, all of you, my followers, my fans, you guys fucking suck.
All right, fans. Milf Lover, that means you're not sending Marina enough DMs. I don't know what the deal is there, but I think you need to
Yeah, MILF lover,
make sure
slide
that
in.
take care of that. All right, for us. But we are lucky because Bernard's on, and whenever he's on, he drops us with like 16 different questions. So we'll start off with all Bernard's questions because they're some of the fun ones anyway. Food, actually, that's not his question, that was somebody else. Fuck, marry, kill. And I spelled Mary, just for the record, Marey. I don't know why. It just came out that way. Fuck, marry, kill. Sydney Sweeney, Halle Berry, Scarlett Johansson. Milf Lover's a married man. Would you have thought that? I would not have thought that.
Is Marina going to answer this too? Because I really want to hear her answers.
Yeah, go Marina.
Let's see. Let me look at Scarlett Johansson is the one who's she's in the Avengers.
Yes.
They're all hot as shit.
Honestly, I couldn't pick Sydney Sweeney out of
Wait,
I couldn't
who's
out of a
Halle
lineup.
Berry?
I have no idea off the top of my head who Sydney Sweeney is.
Oh, that's Halle Berry. Okay, I would.
Halle Berry's
know
before
who
your time.
She's a gorgeous woman.
I would probably.
That's the old thing I ever heard of.
Okay, guys, it's coming. Guys. Okay, I think I would fuck Sydney Sweeney, marry Halle Berry, kill Scarlett Johansson.
What? That is horrible.
I would so marry Halle Berry.
But why? Because she's hot?
You would no, I'm more just appalled that you would kill Scarlett Johansson.
Well, you have to kill somebody. And
yeah,
Scarlett Johansson, isn't she a bit older? Like she's gonna die sooner anyways.
Who?
Halle Berry's like 60. Scarlett Johansson's like 40.
Is she?
Yes.
Well, Halle Berry looks great. Wait, let me see Scarlett Johansson.
I'm letting Scarlett Johansson.
I don't think Scarlett Johansson is so ugly. Are you kidding me?
Really? I think you're crazy. I think Sydney Sweeney.
We need a replacement. We need a replacement. Marina, you are banned.
I'm going.
I think Scarlett Johansson is ugly. Sorry.
Really? I'm fucking Scarlett Johansson.
Oh my
and I'm
God.
marrying Halle Berry. I'm killing Sydney Sweeney.
I'm right behind you. I'll get my way right behind you, buddy.
Yeah. I haven't seen Scarlett Johansson in a while.
She doesn't look
Sweeney,
good.
Though. Sydney Sweeney just looks like a skinny white chick. No offense.
I just like Sydney Sweeney because
who's got the highest?
I just think she's naturally prettier.
I'm marrying Halle Berry.
Looks like she needs makeup.
That's what I said. Oh, let me. Marina, you've lost your mind.
I'm also very straight, so.
Wait, who? Bernard? Who's got huge boobs?
Are you kidding me?
Sweeney.
If this shows up,
Sydney Sweeney has nice. That was probably 15 years ago.
I don't care. Scarlett Johansson's hot.
She needs makeup. She doesn't. She looks ugly without makeup.
You're a sick person.
Sweeney's got big boobs. All right, I don't know.
She does.
She looks like a skinny white chick though. Not the Scarlett Johansson doesn't.
She is skinny.
But Scarlett Johansson's got like the face. Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson has massive boobs too, though.
Yeah, but then she has an ugly face.
And if she doesn't, she's got the money to get it. Yeah, that's not.
Are you kidding? How are you? Yeah, now
blasphemous.
She just. Yeah, now there's nothing.
Look at those lips. What are you talking about?
Sydney Sweeney looks like.
Sydney Sweeney looks like she came out of her mother's womb, and her mother put the vacuum on her lips and just sucked it off.
Come on. Come on.
Yeah, I like how Steve just has that picture in his phone.
So it's on my desktop.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
It's wallpaper.
It's about to be. Come on.
All right. So now that we've settled that,
okay, hold on. I got one more for you, Tim. Marina, you've lost your mind.
Oh my God.
Okay, that was probably that's circa 1990.
I don't care when they, who cares? Like at the end of the day,
Yeah, that's
I mean,
that's
that's
suffocating me to death.
subdue the female competition in you.
Yeah, that's
Ugh.
right.
All right. So this one's not from Bernard, but still a funner question. Foods that always sound really good in your head, but never really work out in real life. And for the record, he
No
put
foods.
foods that really sound good in your head, but never really slap in real life. But I changed it because, I'm the skibbity rizzler.
No foods.
All
I
right.
think I think every food is amazing and no. Actually, a lot of food has let me down, but I still will
Yeah.
eat it.
What?
'Cause food is so
That's not the
good.
question. The question isn't whether you're going to eat it or not. It's just like, what do you build up in your head? And then when you have it, it's like it's not what you thought it was, or it's not what you like what you
I
anticipated,
don't
I
build
guess.
anything up in my head as far as food goes. I learned too early that it always lets you down.
One thing that always kind of like I always think it's going to be like the most magical thing ever, but it never really works out to be anything good. Chinese food always
That's
sounds better
actually
than
pretty
this.
accurate, but I haven't had
That's
Chinese food in a while.
that no wait, well, hold on. Where's Vanessa live? Because if we're talking like South Jersey Chinese food, yeah, I wonder what the Chinese people look like in South Jersey. I don't know. But like at the end of the day, you come to Central Jersey, you come to Monmouth County, you hit any like hole in the wall Chinese food spot, then you get yourself a fucking dollar egg roll. I'm telling you right now, my mouth is watering right now. I'm gonna spit fucking all over the place.
Clams are so
Clams,
good.
yeah, but clams don't. I don't know if clams look at like I've never built up clams before in my life. I was gonna go with Nutella. I'm not saying Nutella's not good,
It's
but
all
what I
right.
am saying is, yeah, it's all right. But like if you think about like Nutella,
Actually true.
like something that's like whatever, I don't know, like pancakes with Nutella on top and like all the like it sounds fucking delicious, and then you go and eat it, and it's like Nutella's like it's okay. I'd probably rather have peanut butter or some shit. You know what I mean? Like it's not like the filling or the topping or whatever that it ever like seems that it's gonna be in my mind. Christine will eat Nutella by the fucking like legitimately go through an entire thing of Nutella in one night. And that's not an exaggeration. I don't know. The Chinese food by me is fucking amazing all the time. All the time.
I don't really
First
know,
walk.
honestly.
Hello, first walk. How can I help you? Yeah, you can help me, buddy. Some of that General Toes. So what do you got, Steve? Anything?
No, it's people making fun of my knee.
No, I'm talking about food wise.
Oh, I'll tell you one of my
Something you
questions.
build up.
Shit.
You know what else? Honestly, I don't. This is more
Hoagies
broad.
are like that for me.
Yeah, I got hoagies could be like that for sure, 100%.
Because I'm like,
Sometimes
damn, I
you're
really
banging
want
though.
this Italian hoagie, and then like, it's really hard to find a place that has like nice, fresh.
That's why
deli
you need to
meat.
stop calling it a hoagie and get your ass to Lavodi's and get a sub.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I was gonna call you out for the hoagie thing too, but I was waiting on it.
You're
Listen, if you
the wrong
go,
spot.
if you go to like South Philly, it's a sub. But if you go to fucking like Primo's or Wawa and you look on the thing, it says a hoagie.
That's true. But
Yeah, but
I don't
Wawa's
want to argue.
disgusting. Why would you go to Wawa for a sub?
I don't want to argue semantics. But what I will do is whenever I come down to see you, Steve, I'm bringing Mike's Subs, which is like this old school sub shop by me that's from like fucking 1940. Like they still have the old school like board on the thing, like ordering the menu on the wall where it's like, soda's 5 cents, a bag of chips is like 15 cents, and like a sub is like $1.25 or whatever. Like that's how old it is. And it was handed down from like generation to generation. Like the parents, they're like 90 years old, still work there. And now all the sons work there. Their sons work there, like as part-time. You know what I mean? It's like one of those real family joys. Their subs are fucking delicious, dude. Absolutely incredible. I got to bring you one. But the restaurants sometimes will do that too. Like in general, like I'll have this built up idea of a restaurant in my head. And it's like, I'm fucking hungry out and I should have just went to McDonald's. You know what I mean? Like McDonald's would have been way better than going to the restaurant that I just spent fucking $350 on.
Oh, 100%.
All right. So I guess we got serious questions now.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah. I thought I had more fun ones.
That's all we do all day with clients is answer serious questions.
Yeah. Bernard, you got to do a better job, man.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Jenny said she has to sign off because it's making her too hungry. She's like a week out. All All right. So best supplements for recovery.
BPC and TB 500.
It's actually true.
Just
I
start
wasn't thinking that way.
sticking that shit. Oh, I am because of what I'm dealing with right now.
Yeah, but even still, like in general, like it could help with general recovery overall, reducing inflammation.
And gut health.
Yeah, gut health,
I
repairing the gut lining.
We'll see in like, if I don't need any surgery on my knee and such, and we'll see in like 2-3 months how well it helps. But I vividly remember I've just seen, the practicality of it work so well with my bicep 5 years ago. I mean, I forgot surgery on that. And that was like a tear. Like it was black and blue. It snapped up into my pit. And they were like, this is going to be probably 6 months, right? Without the surgery. And I was okay in like 12 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Obviously, recovery capabilities when you're a teenager into like 30, 35 is way different unless you're 50, 60. But my dad just had his rotator cuff and long head on his bicep repaired in January. And we had him doing 1,500 of each of them.
What, daily?
Yeah, for the first 2 weeks. And then lowered him to 1,000 for the next, 10. So he was 12 weeks total. And he was literally lifting again, like 30-pound side laterals in like 6 weeks. The doctor was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck did you do?
Safety. I have a client, Chris, who's in his 50s. He's 51, I think. And it was safety. He actually just had his second. So he had this one was blown out, the rotator cuff and the labrum that he had to get repaired. And then he just had another one where he had to get the infraspinatus, supraspinatus, and then the long head of the bicep reattached. And both times, I think he's like 12 weeks post this surgery, just because they were back to back. So it was literally like he got this one done, was lifting again within 6 to 8 weeks. Right. And then, everything was going fine. Then the infraspinatus, the supraspinatus went on this one, like literally fucking 6 weeks after being back in the gym. So like whatever it was, 12 weeks post the first surgery, had to go back in for another surgery on this one. And now we're like 12 weeks post-op now, and he's just getting cleared to go back into the gym. But they cleared him for a full training plan. So like he's got full range of motion, no pain, nothing like that. Just got cleared for a full-on training plan.
The shit works. How much was he using? 1,000?
No, right as of right now, just because we had him on so much the first time, which was 1,000 a day.
Right.
This second time that he went in, I only used 500 mics of the TB 500. I used BPC 157 immediately post surgery for a couple weeks. Then I went to the TB 500, just 500 micrograms a day.
I'm doing 1,000 in my knee at both. I literally from Sunday, when this happened Saturday, Sunday, yesterday, and as soon as we get off this, right before bed, I pinched the skin on the side of my knee and fucking put that shit right in there.
Yeah, I would. I would usually run a higher dosage with him. It was just the fact that he had been using so much for so long.
I mean, like I said, I'm doing 1,000, and that should be plenty.
Yeah, we were actually rotating at one point a vial per week. So I'd do like an entire vial, like one whole vial at a time, once of TB 500, and then I'd do another whole vial of BPC 157 the following week. It just rotated because I knew from a tolerance perspective he was going to be shot.
My ortho he's I mean, obviously look how quick he got me in, right, with the MRI in 2 days, but he's such a cool dude, like, because I've known him since high school, and he straight up looked at me yesterday in the office, and he was like, I would start the peptides right away. He was like, growth hormone. I don't know if you're still on it right now. He's like, I would definitely do 2 to 3 units of that. And I told him, I was like, yeah, I got the BPC and the TB like pretty much loaded. I just wanted. Yeah, I was like, I started it yesterday. He was like, good. He was like, I would do at least 12 weeks. He was like, surgery or not, right? But again, he was hopeful. I'm not going to need surgery. He thinks, from what he said, he thinks it's like I told you. He said he's worried about my patella because I don't have much extension strength. Or like if he had me laying on my back, I can't lift my heel up a lot without having to really try, and there's pain in the bottom of my knee. He doesn't think it's a grade 3 tear because I can still walk and there's nothing hanging off. He said I'm probably anywhere between a grade 1 and a grade 2.
Yeah, which you could totally recover.
Yeah, he said you're not. I told him straight up, like, if that's the case, I'm not getting cut open.
Yeah, no.
He was like, I'll just not. I told him straight up, I was like, I'm fine with not training legs for a couple of months. I don't like it is what it is, but something about getting cut open, dude, with surgery, like literally makes me want to have a panic attack just thinking about.
Well, you don't need to do that right now anyway with the baby and whatnot. So
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, but as far as like, the BPC 157, TB 500 are great recovery peptides in general, but also for issues like Steve's going through as far as knee is concerned. But I would say more generalized stuff than that. I would say always look at like inflammation. You know, we've been taught for so long recovery as it relates to the gym, and everything we do is all based around amino acids, protein, you know, eating enough protein, maybe even getting enough sleep, which is still true. But I would say we're looking at it through that one scope of just, you know, recovery and growth in terms of those amino acids or carbohydrate or nutrition and those different things. Like, you know, broaden the spectrum a little bit. Like inflammation is going to be the primary, you know, thing that we're doing when we go into the gym and we break down tissue. We're causing a shit ton of inflammation. And if you want to, you know, bring your recovery to a higher level, it's like, how do we get this inflammation down? So that's what the BPC 157 and the TB 500 will definitely help with, either localized and or systemic inflammation. There's also things that are over the counter, like there's PEA is a supplement that's been shown to rival, like, you know, the over the counter anti-inflammatories, NSAIDs. Right. So it's a very strong anti-inflammatory that can help systemically, you know, in terms of overall inflammation in the body, but it can really have some pretty profound effects too, as far as gut health is concerned. A lot of people will recommend that on gut health protocols. Curcumin is another one that's a really strong anti-inflammatory. Boswellia, right? These are a few things that we have where we can really help control the overall level of inflammation. So if somebody's having trouble as far as recovering from the gym, right? It first and foremost, look at your nutrition, look at your sleep, you know, look at your day-to-day habits as far as other things that you're doing, because a lot of times people are doing too much, right? But outside of that, if we really want to support recovery on a consistent, regular basis, you know, always have these moments of time where we're really supporting reducing inflammation. Or if you are taking a deload from the gym, you know, increase your supplementation around that reductions of inflammation. Just do it away from the gym. If anybody's taking these things, remember, we're trying to go to the gym to push inflammation. So if you're taking one of these anti-inflammatory supplements right before or right after the gym, it kind of defeats the purpose. We want it to be away from the gym. Same thing with those NSAIDs. And then same person asked, telltale signs, right? Am I saying that right? That it's time to pull back off and deload. Time to back off and deload. Telltale sign?
I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't
I-
know fish.
Yeah, I agree. I think another good point too, Tim, right? Just to kind of touch on what everything you said, can really just start too with like the diet, right? Like making sure you're not eating a bunch of fucking inflammatory, you know, inducing foods, right? Like if your cheat meals are fried foods and fucking dairy, and like this is all proven shit that's going to cause inflammation. You know what I mean?
Gluten.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gluten, you know, dairy, all that type of shit. So
A lot of that inflammation starts in the gut. Like
that's
people
what
don't
I'm. Yeah,
realize
I was
that,
just about to
the
say. I was
gut
going to say it's
harbors
all.
a lot of chronic inflammation. Yeah.
That's what I was just gonna say. Making sure you're taking care of your stomach health, your gut health. You know, making sure you get enough fluid too. You know, something I probably, once my knee's better, I need to definitely start to get on is fucking mobility and stretching.
Yeah.
Or we all suck at that, no matter who
Yes,
the
we
fuck
do.
wants to say it. You know, even
So-
Marinas.
So telltale signs of needing breaks backing out from training. I would say you're just not recovering. Everything hurts and,
is that a
you don't want to
comment?
go to
I
the
can't
gym.
see
No,
anything.
it was a question. It was a question. That's why I said I didn't know how to like telltale.
That you need
tell
off?
Yeah, like he was the same
Motivations,
person that asked about the recovery stuff. I think I'm pretty sure. It was
Yeah,
Bernard, but
motivation's low. You're getting hurt more.
yeah,
Blood
exactly.
pumps aren't as good. Your strength starts going down. Yeah, I mean, you'll know, but I think the biggest thing is to actually listen to the signs and take the time off. That's one thing I can say. Like, if I could pick one thing to go back and change from 31 now to like when I was 20, 21, 22, it'd be you don't got to train 6 days a week. You can definitely get away with training 4 days, and you'll probably recover more, and your body will thank you 10 years later. 100%.
Well, you'll also, the one thing that I learned with that was it's not only that your body will thank you, right? Because we're all getting to that age now, especially me. And I'm trying to warn you guys more. So
I'm right
now.
behind you, dude.
I know, but it's still you're still learning your lesson right now. You know that, you know what I mean? And it's one of the, we talked about it, but it's one of those things where it's like you really don't recognize how much better your training sessions are every time you go in
100%.
when you are recovering better from doing less. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's like, hey, I'm training 5 days a week. It's like, yeah, listen, you could train 5 days a week for periods of time, but there's going to be a point where you run up against that wall, right? And you do need to deload, you do need to back off, you do need to give yourself a little bit of a break in some way, shape, or form, right? From that accumulation, right? Whereas 4 days in a row, or 4 days during the week, it's almost like you can go in there every single session and you're
Yeah.
going to have a fucking perfectly focused session. And
100%.
not to say that life shit doesn't get in the way sometimes. Sometimes we're tired, all that different shit. But all I'm saying is from a central nervous system perspective, you're able to go in there and give it your all when you're properly recovered from not, training so often at all times, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that people don't take into consideration is the fact, like, you have an entire life outside the gym. Like, I don't know how many people are listening to this right now that are a truly professional bodybuilder, not somebody with an IFBB pro card, but a truly professional bodybuilder, somebody who's getting paid to bodybuild, where their entire life is set up to be able to be the perfect bodybuilder. That means you get to nap every day, you get your fucking 8 hours of sleep every night, you get every fucking meal is hit. You don't have to deal with much stress outside of your lifestyle. You know what I mean? Like, that person for sure, they can train 5 days a week, maybe even more than that in some cases, maybe even a couple times a day on certain days. But at the end of the day, most of us have a normal life that, that in and of itself drives a certain load that we have to recover from. So trying to do something just because we want to do it, well, don't think that you won't have to pay that toll sooner or later. And we're not talking about injuries, we're not talking about shit like that. It's just you're going to run up to a point where you basically have a handful of sessions that just aren't very productive sessions, and you're going in there and you're leaving and you kind of feel like it was a shitty workout. It's like, to me, those are the workouts where I wish I could get all that time back at the age of 39. I wish I could have just not gone into the gym on those days, wasted my time, wasted my joints, wasted my, recovery on that kind of shit. So I would say there's definitely lessons to be learned when you feel like you're pushing up against that point where you need a deload over and over and over again. But Steve did mention some good points there. Like, for me, it was always my strength. So I was always a big or adamant tracker, right? I would track my training sessions because I wanted progressions. So if you're that person that's tracking your sessions and you want those progressions, and you start to run into those weeks where there's just no progression, or you're starting to drop back down, which would be my big sign, right? Where it's like, I might go from whatever, 5 plates on a hack press for 12 reps one week, and then the next week I'm getting it for like 10, and it was a grind to get it for 10. Like, not necessarily a bad set. It was a grinder. Like, everything, I completed it, I fit whatever. But again, I only got it for 10 reps versus the 12 that I was getting it for. Like, that's a sign for me that in that particular case, unless I could justify it in some way, shape, or form, I didn't get enough sleep last night, maybe I came off cycle, something like that, right? If there's nothing like that was a variable out there, it's probably just the fact that, hey, I'm probably a little run down. My central nervous system needs a break. I need to relax. My motivation to go train would be something that would be kind of up and down at that point too, where it's like you're struggling to get a good connection when you're in there. You're not really focused, which would be the word that I would use here. Like, it's just my focus wasn't good. I wasn't motivated, whatever you want to call it. And the bottom line is those were the two things: focus, motivation, and my strength going down in the gym would be my factors for understanding when I need a deload. And the other thing I'll say here too is it was always retrospective for me. As long as I trained, right, I always had to get to that point. And then I start to look back and I'm like, fuck, that's probably why I wasn't sleeping well here. That's probably why this was going on there. And it was always retrospective. I could never see it, if that makes sense. Like, I was never able to see it beforehand. It was only until I pushed past the limit and actually needed a break, which to me would only signify the fact that I probably would have done better if I had predetermined deloads.
Yeah, I feel that right now.
Yeah.
And
What about you, Marina? You got anything to add on that one?
I want that Diet
Mm-mm.
Coke.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right. How do I know when I'm fully recovered from bikini prep? Or she put, how do I know when I'm fully recovered from prep? And she put in parentheses bikini. And then she also said that she got her cycle back.
Good.
Yeah, but doesn't know if that's enough.
Yeah, I was gonna say cycle,
Specifically
blood
doesn't know
work.
if that's enough because she still doesn't feel good.
Blood work.
I was just gonna say, when you feel good, when you're not food focused, when you can sleep, when you can train and you're excited to train.
Yeah, but wouldn't you say food focused is depending on the person?
Yeah, but at the same time, if you're still food focused 2 months out, you're not recovered.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
some
think so.
people, but I'm saying some people just never are though. I think a lot more
Oh,
people
never.
are.
Oh, well,
Yeah, what I'm
that's
saying is
if you are very food
yeah.
focused.
Yeah, no, I agree. But
Obviously.
I'm saying wouldn't you say there are some, I think in today's day and age with all this shit, with how like common people thinking they want to do a show and how easy they think it's going to be when it really isn't. And wouldn't you say like some people just in general, like who actually are doing it for all the right reasons, really love the process and suffering and all that. Like some people really could just roll right into a reverse and they just live, eat, and breathe the lifestyle, and it's nothing. Whereas I feel like nowadays it's a lot of people are not that way, you know.
Oh, no, for sure. I think it's relative to,
Yeah.
Like if you are, this is what I always say, and I have yet to be wrong. I'm like probably at like a 98% accuracy rating here. If you start posting cookies and shit on your story at 2 weeks out, and you bring all that shit to the show, you're fucked.
how about the people posting it 10 weeks out,
You're fucked
Yeah.
in general. Like, you're
stashing it
posting-
up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're fucked.
100%.
Mentally, you're
Yeah.
going. I've never watched Food Network. I've never posted shit. I've never bought food before. I don't even give. I never bought any of them cookies, so I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
So these were, I got 2 questions from the same person there. She's actually a potential new client, and she sent these in over email. She does listen to the podcast. But this is the conversation we were having, basically going back and forth to your point, Steve, where it's kind of like, it's one of those things where, it's like how, I don't know, I guess food focus, I guess we're going into a different conversation. So let me pause here for a second, right? If we want to look at how do I know when I'm fully recovered from bikini prep or from my prep, is it my cycle? I would say a cycle, no. That's unfortunately a cycle is not, it's a good start, right? But you could have a cycle and not be ovulating. You could have a cycle and not have, really solid hormonal profile, so to speak,
Yeah,
right?
or your
So
cortisol still jacked up.
Exactly. That's the thing. We talked about this just before with proper recovery. Like when somebody's going through that process during an off season, they're just grinding and beating the shit out of themselves in the gym. And they get to a point where they have lost focus, they have lost motivation, appetite goes down a little bit. It's the same concept. It's central nervous system overload, right? Where you're just like, you've been riding that high for so long during a prep now, right? Even though food's been low, food has been low, right? Like your body's just screaming for a little bit of a break. And unfortunately for most of us, we get bit by the bug, right? Immediately post show, to where we're so motivated, all we want to do is go to the gym. So you always see people that are basically like the next day they're in the gym training. And I'm not necessarily saying that that's wrong or inherently wrong, but what I would say is you are in no position to be able to grow immediately after a show. No position whatsoever. You know what I mean? Like not even remotely close. And obviously calories don't correlate to proper recovery either. Just because you're eating whatever it might be, even as a female, whatever, 200, 300, 400 grams of carbs a day, and you're still relatively lean post show, and you get your cycle back, none of that means that you're recovering. It means that you're doing the right things and you're taking the right steps to recovery, but it doesn't ultimately mean your recovery. I would say it's got to be feeling like Marina said, where it's like you're able to go in and focus. You're not, having a poor relationship with food. You're able to really give your all to training without feeling fatigued and run down and lethargic throughout the course of the day, right? Like those feelings of prep have left you, right? And you're really in a better position mentally and physically to go out and give your all. And that's something you are going to notice, and you are going to feel. And it's a good point, because I think this person is still struggling from their previous prep, which really wasn't that long ago. And they want to start a whole off season, have this whole concept of, well, I'm going to build, and I'm going to go hit the stage in 2025. And I'm like, trying to get them to understand, especially as a natural female, like there's so much time that you need, natural or unnatural, doesn't matter, but there's so much time that you need to be able to recover from these things that we've just completely and totally lost sight of it. And it's just about reversing calories out, getting calories to a certain point and getting your period. And it's like, it doesn't always work like that, right? And for a lot of women too, for a lot of guys and women, we have things that we are dealing with when we're going into prep that are completely and totally recognize in terms of those elevated cortisol levels like Marina was talking about, maybe thyroid dysfunction or whatever, right? Where prep is only going to exacerbate those things. You have to really manage those things going forward because they can be, issues. And then the other question here was, what is an acceptable testosterone level for a female in prep? And when I first read this, honestly, my immediate thought process with some of the consults, well, hear me out. The immediate thought process that I've had with some of the consults we've been doing and whatnot was thinking, how high is it okay for an enhanced female's levels to go? That was my immediate thought process, right? So everything that I thought of about this was until I realized today that I'm talking to a natural female, and she's probably asking how low can they go,
Yeah.
Well,
especially
that's how
based
I
off the line
thought.
of questioning.
My initial thought was like not to think about that your test, because it's going to get low. Like,
I was gonna
don't
say, you're gonna
worry
have
about how
downregulation
low it's going to go,
regardless.
because it's going to go low. So it's like, there's no acceptable, what if you want to talk about acceptable would be to not prep and keep your testosterone healthy.
100%.
So like, I don't know. I don't know.
No, I think that's it.
I got down to 4.
What?
I got down to 4.
Yeah, but I think what you said is exactly what I would say, where it's like, don't stop thinking about that. Like, don't worry about that. Like we all just said immediately, like that it's gonna go low. Steve said the same thing, like you're gonna get down regulation, right? It's like, why even worry about that? Because at the end of the day, if you're 2 weeks out from a show and you're fully conditioned and you've done all the work and your testosterone level is 4, the bottom line is, what are you gonna do? Not do the show now?
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna
Like you're
stop?
Right,
still
right,
gonna
right.
Like,
compete. Yeah.
yeah, who cares? I mean,
You
it's
should be
not a matter of
worried
saying
if
who
it's
cares.
should be worried if it's your testosterone's a 4 and you're 20 weeks out and start prep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 100%. That's an even better
Not if you
point
get
there.
blood work at a week out, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I mean, even 4 weeks out, right? Like if it's a 4, you have a 4, like you said, what are you gonna do? Stop fucking 2 weeks out because it's low? Like it's
Yeah, no, it's like it's
probably
expected.
means you're in fucking shape, to be honest with you.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It probably does mean you're in shape. And that's the thing. Like, there's definitely room to have discussion for women who tend to dip really low in prep, in testosterone levels, in terms of utilizing some sort of replacement therapy there, which I know might sound scary to a natural female. But the bottom line is, what you have to really look at is not how low your testosterone levels get in prep, but how long that recovery process we were just talking about takes. If you're somebody where your testosterone level drops all the way down to a 4 or single digits in general during contest prep, right? And then it takes you many months just to get it back up to like whatever, 18 to 22 to 25. And then as soon as you start to diet again, it drops back to 15. Well, what's worse? You know what I mean? The fact that you have so many months out of the course of a year where your testosterone is low, or taking a small dose of testosterone to keep your testosterone at a baseline level. You know what I mean? From a general health perspective, probably the amount of months that you spent with low testosterone, which is correlated very closely to all-cause mortality, or cardiovascular risk. So like, you got to put things in perspective there a little bit. But I would say in terms of acceptable, if your testosterone level is good year round and you're going into a prep, you can't be looking at that because everybody is so different, right? Like no judge is giving out awards for women that keep their periods all the way through their prep. Like they just don't. Like you could brag about that all you want.
One of the girls doing big catches asked me that. When should my period go? Like, is that normal? And I was like, yeah, I mean, she still has it now. They're 12 weeks out, but she, over the last week, she lost 3.5 pounds. The week before, she lost 4 pounds. I told her, I'm like, shit's going to start getting hard here, right? Like cardio's going to start ramping the fuck up. Your food's going to start getting low. High days are gone. Like they're only coming when they're absolutely needed at this point. And she's like, oh, I'm feeling it, but she's like, I just got my period. So I'm like, it's good, but it's most likely going to be gone probably by a month out,
I've had some women keep their period all the way up until a show and then maybe like lose it that month or maybe even have it, I did have one client get her period during peak week. But the bottom line there, I've also had a female get pregnant in her last week of prep, Cassie. Literally during prep, her last week.
Oh,
of
you
prep
did say that, yeah.
For a long fucking season, she got
Wait,
knocked
today
the F up.
is today Logan's birthday?
Yeah, Logan's birthday is today, actually. So yeah, it's
So
pretty
good.
cool. But bottom line though is with that happening, I've also had Marina, and we've watched her testosterone just fucking plummet. I think my 5-year-old daughter has higher testosterone levels naturally than Marina does at this point.
Definitely.
And I would even say that it's probably more, closer to 50-50 than people really think, maybe even like 60-40, something like that. The bottom line is it's genetic individual, levels of resilience, and that's it. Like how resilient are you to stress? So that being said, I was going to say something else about what Steve was talking about before, and I really wanted to say it, and now I forget what it was.
Do you have any more? Because I'm going to get off if not. Or
I only have one more, but if you want to run, it's kind of a cheesy one anyway. Favorite focus product for client work, which this was another one that came in via WhatsApp. It was just a client that was asking me.
Favorite what?
Favorite focus product when they're doing, like, because they're a coach too. So during client work or just work in general.
I got a pretty juicy stack.
Do you?
Yeah, because of you.
Oh, I'm actually interested.
Kratom, Morphine Brain, and a lot of caffeine. Just as good as Adderall.
I wouldn't go that far, but
Kratom.
But I tell myself that so I feel better.
The opioid thing, Kratom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gee, you're crazy.
It's my go-to. It's my fave. just enough, just a small amount to really like
Not
get you
me.
like slow down and focus.
Honestly, marijuana helps me focus.
You're crazy.
Really?
Seriously, we're the exact opposite.
Some people, yeah,
I mean,
no, I
some of
can't.
it makes me go to bed sleepy. Some makes it helps me focus.
So
I
like if you do
even,
like a sativa, you can
even
focus
if I
on that.
smoke
Yeah, yeah,
sativa,
but
I'm
indica, I'm
brain
out.
dead.
And to come out cold.
Sativa, and I'm thinking about Sydney Sweeney's boobs, or like I'm just completely and totally out. Like I
I'm
can't.
thinking of Scarlett Johansson's boobies, the picture
Yeah,
we saw
whatever.
with the nipple
Yeah.
piercings and shit. Yeah.
Honestly, I'm thinking of Steve's boobies. Like I'm thinking about boobies in general.
Think
Like,
of my knee,
I don't
buddy.
even.
Think of my.
I'm literally like, there's no way I'd get any work done on any marijuana. Marijuana's got to wait until after work. THC
I
is no good
don't
for
drink
focus.
caffeine. I mean, I used to, when I was at NutraBio, I would take alpha GPC. I noticed the difference with that slightly in the morning. But other than that, no, I mean, just make sure you get enough fucking sleep.
Yeah, I need something for me personally, just because I have that ADHD that fucking throws me all
I mean,
around.
me
And
too.
Yeah, I'm scatterbrained like a motherfucker sometimes.
You
So
don't
I
say.
like Marina said, I like the brain from Morphogen Nutrition is
Yeah,
is
I
a
know that
favorite for
works
mine.
well.
Yeah, that really fucking locks me in. I also
What's up,
have their other
Bubba?
product right here, the Cognigen,
Oh,
right, which is like 100 milligrams of caffeine. What's up, stinky butt?
say hi.
Hi.
She looks
I love-
different, Steve.
She's getting
Like,
big.
Growing
like,
up.
like an adult.
I
Yeah,
know.
she's getting big.
Nee. Marina said she looks like an adult.
She's so
Marina
cute.
said that Vienna looks like an adult. Did you eat pasta? Pasta, it's all over your face.
Is that the only thing she'll
So
eat?
freaking cute.
Dude, pasta, mac and cheese, nuggets.
French
She
fries.
she likes jalapeno potato chips too. It's so weird.
No
Wow.
way.
Yeah.
My daughter will only eat salt and vinegar, potato chips, pasta, and mac and
Don't touch.
cheese, and French
Salt and
fries. That's about it.
vinegar.
Where's
Yeah,
Vienna?
that's it.
Where's
That's it.
Vienna?
And Jersey Mike's.
Boo.
Hello. But yeah, I get that's all I got as far as questions are concerned.
I have
And I know you got to
zero.
run, Steve. So I guess that's a quick and easy one for us this
Yeah,
week.
that's a quick one. I'll sign us off.
Hopefully this MRI is quick and easy.
Thank you everyone for listening to this week's episode. We'll catch you guys next week.